The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Right now we say good morning to Attorney John Murphy. How are you, John?
I'm doing great,
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me back.
Well, thank you for being here. You know, I was on vacation down in Savannah, Georgia, then up in Columbia, Georgia, where Lake Oconee is, and it's kind of an exclusive place where my sister and brother-in-law live. And I was talking to some people in the infinity pool, because that's what you do there when you go when you go to the club.
Yes.
How the other half live.
Yeah.
And you know, and I got the beer in my hand and talking.
Was it a cheap beer, Tom?
No, and it's not a cheap.
Okay,
well,
just checking it.
At a minimum, they had my Yingling, and then everything else was all good high end. So, and you could get your funky drinks, you know, your nice one. So I was making conversation, as is my style, you know, with people and talking, and a lot of people who were retired CFOs and CEOs of major tech corporations, or they were like, you know, highfalutin athletes, you know, played professional. And I thought to myself, they got money on top of money. And how do they, you know, how do they handle trusts and things like that? Are trusts and everything for really for the ultimate, the ultra wealthy like that?
Well, those are different types of trusts than what we do, right, Tom? So there are people that would have trust for making sure their assets stay in their family, for keeping things out of probate, and also for minimizing estate taxes. Okay.
So like Kennedy trusts.
Yeah, Kennedy trusts.
Like those kinds of things.
Yeah, the dynastic trust, which you can't really do based in New York. You can do them if they're based in other states like Delaware and Nevada and Wyoming. But for most people, trusts are fantastic, because, you know, if someone from that area needed long-term care, right, because they're growing older, et cetera, they'll just hire people to come in the house.
Oh, I see. Right? Right.
But for most Americans, they don't have enough money to hire people to come into the house. So you want to protect what you have. So should you need to go into a long-term care facility, everything you want to leave to your family, everything you worked so hard for your whole life, your legacy is not taken due to long-term care.
Yeah. And, you know, I noticed that a lot of them had a family there, like their kids and then their grandkids and things like that. And I thought, you know, that's a lot of money to manage to distribute after you're not around anymore. And that has to be taken care of as well. So say they, you know, just had a normal, they didn't have to go into long-term care, and they just passed away in their home or something. They'd still need a way to distribute to all of those grandkids and kids.
Yeah, it depends on your plan, right? Most of our clients want to give money to their kids, and their kids give money to their kids.
Yeah.
And some people will skip a generation and provide for grandchildren. You know, we have had people that treat grandchildren exactly equal to their children as far as the disposition of their estate. So every estate plan is different, but the key is have an estate plan. You know, oh, my kids know what I want. That's not an estate plan. You know, that's like hope and wish, and that's a recipe for disaster.
But even the term, I think Tom made a good point. Estate plan. Well, I don't have a estate. I just have a house and a few retirement things and a
lawnmower and
a car and a lawnmower and oh yeah, we've got a camp. We didn't pay much for it. Okay, that's an estate.
Every piece of property you own is your estate.
Right.
When you die. Right. So if you own a house, you're going to have an estate. If you have bank accounts, if you have cars, if you have a camp, you know, your retirement accounts, whatever those are, you want to have a plan. And really the plan isn't for you. The plan is for your family. Yeah. Right? Because you're gone. So you're planning for your family, say this is how things should be distributed. I don't want any questions. I don't want any arguments.
Well, you use the P word, probate. So explain probate, because I think sometimes people don't really even realize what that is.
Yeah, probate is the process by which assets that have no owner get distributed. So what do I mean by that? So if my wife and I own our house together, our bank accounts together, our cars together, jointly, and I die first, she owns everything, right? So all those assets still have an owner. Now, when she dies, if they haven't done anything, right, the bank account, the cars, the house don't have an owner. So who has the authority, who has the legal right to give that to anybody else? Well, if you have a will, that's your executor. Okay, and so people think, well, you can just walk into the bank with the will that says I'm mom's executor and do what you need to do. No, that will has to go to court for the court to approve the will.
So time and money.
Time and money.
Yeah.
And I would say the court's validating the will. They don't care what it says, who gets what. Was it signed correctly? Was it witnessed? Okay, we've more than you can count people who do a handwritten will and there's no witnesses. It's not a will. A will requires that there are two independent witnesses.
So you've got a workshop Monday. So if you wanted to jump in, I know the room, we were talking before we went on the air, things are getting kind of full there, but it sounds like there's morning and afternoon. There's probably some spots somewhere for you. Go to the website, safeharborwillsandtrust.com. You'll see the information on the workshop. I know you answer all these questions, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. People can go and have their own personal questions.
And we really concentrate a lot on what's the true cost of nursing home and how do you protect your home and life savings from it and make sure that your family's taken care of after you're gone.
safeharborwillsandtrust.com. Thanks, John.
Thank you.